Bible Lesson 27.3, Evangelism, How to Share. This follows Workbook page 107. Boys and girls, I want you to go ahead and write a list of things that are important to you right now. Just on a piece of paper, just write those things down. After you've written those things down, I want you to circle the things that are most important from the list that you wrote. What are the most important ones? Go ahead and circle those. Now I want you to go ahead and put a star next to anything that you think will be important 100 years from now on your same list. Put a star next to anything that you think will be important 100 years from now. All right, so just look at your list. And just remember that the message of the gospel is true and so important that it will still be important not only 100 years from now, but 1,000 years from now, and even 1,000,000 years from now and beyond. The gospel is so vital that believers need to explore how they should share this very special news with other people. Let's read Matthew 6:19 through 21. Don't store up treasures here on earth where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal. Verse 20 says, store your treasures in heaven where moths and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Verse 21 says, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. So according to this verse, what are Christians supposed to store up? Treasures in heaven. That's right. So sharing the gospel by witnessing to others is a way to store up treasures in heaven. Now let's read 2 Corinthians 5:17. This means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone, a new life has begun. How does this verse relate to the gospel of Jesus? People who accept Jesus as their Savior become a new creation in Him. This sheet has footprints, and these footprints demonstrate the steps in accepting and following the Lord, and they go with your workbook page 107. So I'm just going to review them. The first one is the purple one. It has a symbol of a heart, and that is supposed to represent the darkness of sin. Everyone is a sinner because he or she is born with a sin nature. That's in the book of Romans, chapter 3, verses 10 and verses 23. The next one, footprint, is a red one. And you see the symbol there is the drop of blood, and the color is red. And that is to represent the fact that Jesus shed his blood and he died to save us from eternal death. According to Romans 10:9 and Ephesians 1:7, Jesus' sacrifice paid the price for the sin nature of people. The next footprint is white, but I just went ahead and I outlined the little snowflake, and it is supposed to represent purity. Isaiah 1:18 says that when a person accepts Jesus as Savior, God cleanses him or her from sin. God sees that believers are as pure or righteous. The next footprint is yellow, and it has the symbol of the heavenly city, and it represents the street in heaven. Christians will spend eternity in heaven according to Romans 6:23 and John 3:16. And the last footprint is green, and it has a symbol of a tree, and it represents growth. After Christians are saved, they need to grow in faith, according to 1 Peter 2:2 and Psalm 1.